Okay, we are Group 16, and this is our presentation of impacts of engineering solutions and the Envision rating system. Okay, so to introduce us, we are Frost Construction. We're a general contractor in the U.S. that specializes in building construction. My name is Trent McCaffrey, and I'm the project manager for the company.
I'm Zibin, Leng, and I'm a supervisor.
I'm Nick, and I'm the estimator for the company.
I'm Zixuan, and I'm the field engineer.
Okay, so our building is the new classroom building here on Virginia Tech campus. We are going to be using the triple bottom line of environmental, social, and economic aspects of the building and how it is rated using the Envision rating system.
So as a field engineer, my job involves evaluating the environmental aspect of our project, the new classroom building, with the help of Envision rating system. So Envision, as a comprehensive assessment framework that evaluates and quantifies sustainability for infrastructures, it is organized around 5 major categories and 14 subcategories. 3 of those 5 major categories are environmental related, which are resource allocation, natural world, and climate and risk. Which takes up a major portion of it. So the new classroom building was constructed to LEED certification, which in other words is used its very best in energy and environmental design. So unfortunately, no Envision rating has been done for the new classroom building. So I assessed it based on some of my researches and some estimations made. And here's the result I got for our project. 122 point out of 182 possible points. That is 67 coverage for resource allocation. From that, we can see the new classroom building is doing pretty good in protecting freshwater availability and monitoring water systems, but not so good when it comes to using recycling original building materials and energy saving. And 112 points out of 184 possible points. That is 61% coverage for natural world, and for climate and risk, it only got 69 point out of 107 total possible points. So in average, we're talking about 64% for 3 environmental aspects of Envision rating system. Not so bad for an academic building, since it cannot and does not need to accomplish the tasks about protecting endangered species biodiversity or assessing climate threats.
So as a supervisor, I'm going to talk about the social impact on the new classroom building. As we know, during the construction phase, it created a large amount of job opportunities during the construction phase, which includes construction companies, engineer, workers, and the subcontractors to build up the buildings. And even when it's finished, it still needs a lot of faculties to maintain the building, such as a cleaner and security. As we know, when the building is done, it will have more class during here, and it will enroll more students for Virginia Tech to get more revenue from this building. And so the new classroom building is a multifunctional building, which has seats for more than 1,450 students, and it also has 15 classrooms and 4 labs for students to use and have classes on that. Also, all the classrooms are equipped with projectors and monitors for teaching purposes, so students can have a very good place to study and learning. Also, the building equipped with a studying area and resting area. So it's a very multifunctional building.
Okay, so some background on the economics of new classroom building. It costs roughly $42 million, which is right in line with most academic buildings at Virginia Tech. For example, Goodwin Hall cost about $95.2 million and is roughly double the square footage. So again, new classroom building is right on par with the other academic buildings. One economic benefit of the building is that it fosters collaboration and teamwork, and will provide more space for students to learn and study, which will ultimately produce more revenue for Virginia Tech as a university. Additionally, as my partner said, it's constructed to LEED certification standards, which means it's constructed with the very best in energy and environmental design, which will help the building refrain from extra costs such as more energy consumption, flooding, failure of stormwater management, which will help increase our Envision rating. Unlike some buildings that will suffer from failures and ultimately have increased costs. Additionally, another benefit is the economic growth of the community by creating jobs for the construction workers that helped build the building and also design it, as well as the faculty that will be maintaining the building and working to teach the students. So ultimately, investment in infrastructure and innovation are crucial drivers to economic growth and development, and that will in turn increase our Envision rating.
Okay, so lastly, I'm gonna finish what Nick was saying about the Envision rating, kind of wrap things up here. These are the 5 categories of Envision, and I'm gonna talk about which subcategories within these categories we are aiming for with the new classroom building. So first, quality of life. We're aiming for the public space and accessibility subcategories. The new classroom building will give more space for students to learn, and it also allows for easy accessibility with the parking garage and the bike racks. The next category is leadership. The new classroom building will foster collaboration and teamwork. It promotes collaboration through study rooms and group classroom settings, and this will allow students to work in teams and test their potentials in a group environment. Next, we have resource allocation. In this subcategory, we'll be aiming for water and materials. We're going to strive to extend the life of new classroom building by implementing design standards that promote the longevity of the building using precast concrete and Hokie stone, which are local to the area. Next, we have the natural world. We will be preserving the green space outside of the new classroom building, which will allow for outdoor study areas for students, and we will design stormwater management practices that benefit the environment. Lastly, we have climate and risk. For climate and risk, we're going to reduce greenhouse gas emissions that coming from new classroom building by using sustainable lighting, windows, water fountains, and hand dryers rather than paper towels. That kind of wraps things up for our presentation. Here's a list of references we used. If you have any questions, please ask now. Thank you.